Hi, I'm Laurie Wrigley. I'm the founder of birthdayinabox.com. We're an online website that sells children's party supplies, and we wanted to tell you about some of the crafts and games that are in our party planning section. We have a whole section dedicated to theme party planning, and today we're going to show you how to make an edible Valentine's bracelet. You can use this for your party at home, and you can also use it as a classroom craft. And I brought Nicole Beidler, who is my marketing manager, along with me, and Nicole and I are going to show you how to do this.
Yep, let's get started.
All right, so we have just piles of edible things with holes in them. So we picked through all the Fruit Loops and found the red ones.
Yep.
I think sometimes there's some red Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks, you might be able to.
Yeah, you'd have to see what cereals you have.
But anything with a hole in it.
Right.
That's
so these are, I think, wintergreen lifesavers,
yep.
some gummy lifesavers. I got these rings, these jelly rings, at the specialty candy store at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did ahead of time, I wouldn't have the kids do this, but you can do it ahead of time. I took the pink Starbursts and I used something to make a hole in all of them so that it was big enough to pass the string through. And then if you're really ambitious and you want to go a step farther, you can make cookies. So I made gingerbread and sugar cookies. And when I was baking them, I just used a skewer to poke a hole. And then after they came out, I just used a knife to ensure that the hole was large enough to pass. And I tested each one to make sure it's big enough to pass the thing through. And then we're stringing them on Twizzlers.
Yep, the pull and peel kinds.
And you just have to be careful because when I go too fast, I break it.
Yeah, you have to go sort of slow so it doesn't
peel that. I'm sure kids know how to do this way better.
Probably.
Right, here we are.
Just slowly pull it apart.
Right, so you get
just
that
like
guy. And I think you can make bracelets like this, but you can also, I guess girls could tie them together and make a necklace.
And make it longer.
I'm sure you'll come up with something more creative than we'll do. And the one thing that I think makes it easy is if you put a stopper on the end. I was going to do mine with fruit roll-ups. Nicole has another idea. But basically, if you use fruit roll-ups, and I would take this out and unroll them ahead of time because they're awfully tacky.
Yeah,
they're sticky. And maybe kids would have a
little
little harder. Yeah. So in order to create a stopper so that when kids are stringing, it doesn't just fall off the other end, you want to leave enough to tie when they're finished, and then you cut a strip. Did you cut it? Yeah, it's a little longer at one end, a little shorter at the other, kind of like the concept of a Pillsbury crescent roll. And you leave enough, and then you just roll it.
Start a little further in, save room to tie.
Right, and just roll it to the end, and then you've created this sticky bead. Mine's not sticking out. There we go.
There you go.
The sticky bead,
yeah.
And then they can string without the stuff falling off.
Yep.
But you had the other one.
You
could
also take any kind of colored Twizzlers. We have the pink kind here. They have the hole in the center. You just cut a piece off. You can either use this as a stopper or actually as a bead, part of the stringing. You just take the scissors in between, cut it in half, open it up, and you can use that and just stick it right here, stick the pull part and just put it right in there and squeeze it together.
It's amazing how sticky this stuff is.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this?
And so you can put it together and you can put it like a bead or as another stopper as well.
So we did ours with a pendant. So you would just, like, kids would come along, string whatever they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
To string some of this, and then you take some of the licorice and taking your cookie, right? And you put it through, and then you're gonna tie it to your bracelet so that it then hangs down.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you end up with the pendant on the end. So, or I mean, for really young kids, you could just make enough cookies that they just string them straight through, so it's not so complicated. Like if you have 3- and 4-year-olds that would have a little. Their motor skills might not be as good, just string them through.
Yep.
And then the one thing we wanted to mention was if you're doing it for a classroom, especially if you've got cookies so that you don't want one child taking all the cookies and then nobody's left with a cookie, you can organize little kits to give each child. So you could put in 3 cookies each and 3 rings and some gummies and some wintergreens and then your licorice strings, put in a couple. And then just seal them up, and you can put each child's name on them and hand it to them that way, so that it's a little more organized.
Kind of fighting or
scramble for all the cookies.
Right, exactly.
So we're going to post the recipes and the instructions on how to do this on our website. So visit us at birthdayiinabox.com.